the spreading reason your ground hides a growing fracture from you, and in Kenya, 2018, it swallowed a major highway hole. Overnight, no warning, no tremor you would have felt, just a road that existed when you went asleep and a 15-meter canyon that replaced it by morning. And the same force that opened that canyon is underneath you right now. Here's what no one tells you. The Earth's surface isn't one solid shell. It's cracked into pieces, and those pieces are moving, always. Right now, beneath the African continent, two of those pieces are pulling apart at the seams. Where they pull, the ground above doesn't stretch. It tears, it drops, it swallows. The crack in Kenya wasn't a freak accident, it was a preview. A glimpse of something scientists have tracked for decades and cannot stop. The Great Rift Valley, a wound in the Earth's crust that runs 4,000 miles from Ethiopia all the way down to Mozambique. And it is getting wider, every single year, by the width of your thumb. That's the thing about geological time. It moves slowly enough to ignore, until it doesn't. In 2005, the Afar Desert floor dropped 20 meters in 10 days. Not over a century, 10 days. A chain of volcanic eruptions and earthquakes tore a 60-kilometer fissure through the rock. Scientists who flew over it said it looked like something had grabbed the land and ripped it the way you'd tear paper. They called it a preview. And the people living along the rift don't see what the satellite maps reveal. From above, the wound is obvious. A long, sunken scar running down the continent, flanked by escarpments that once sat level with the plateau on either side. Drop zones, ancient collapse sites, lakes that pooled in the holes left behind by rock that fell. The geography you see is the aftermath of failures that already happened. You are looking at the ruins of the surface that used to exist. Here's where it turns. You'd expect a canyon that's actively collapsing to look violent, unstable, a disaster zone with tape and warning signs, but most of the rift looks ordinary. Dry savanna, distant hills, shallow lake beds shimmering in the heat, towns built right on the rim. Nairobi, nearly 5 million people, sits 20 miles from the rift floor, and scientists don't want to stop it. They can't, obviously, but more than that, some argue that even if they could, they shouldn't. Because what the rift is doing is building the future. 10 million years from now, the Horn of Africa tears free entirely. A new ocean floods the gap. A new continent drifts east. What lives on that fragment, cut off, isolated, evolves into something that does not yet exist. But that's 10 million years from now. Right now, the people in the rift zone have a different problem. And so might you. After Kenya's highway was swallowed, geologists ran ground-penetrating radar across the region. Underneath the roads, underneath the farms and the towns, they found a network of hidden fractures. Pre-existing cracks filled with soft volcanic ash, invisible from the surface, already migrating. The next collapse wasn't a question of weather. Seasonal rains seep into those ash-filled cracks. The water dissolves the soft fill below. The surface loses its foundation from the inside out. No warning signal, no subsidence you'd notice in time. Just a morning where the ground is gone. In 2022, sensors in Ethiopia's Danakil Depression, the hottest, lowest, most geologically active place on Earth, recorded something new. The rift floor pulsed, not a steady pull, a pulse, a rapid lurch triggered by a pressure change deep in the mantle, then stillness, then another lurch. Geologists hadn't modeled rifts that way. Their existing frameworks described steady creep. What the sensors showed was something that builds tension, holds it, then releases it suddenly. Like a fault preparing for an earthquake, but it isn't a fault, it's a continental tear, and the GPS arrays placed after the Kenya collapse have confirmed it. The movement is not steady. It is accelerating in pulses, correlated with seasonal rainfall, with distant seismic events, with pressure changes no model fully predicts. Here is what that means in practice. The rift zone contains 17 countries, 250 million people. Cities, infrastructure, railway lines, airports, all built on or near a surface that is actively separating. Addis Ababa, Nairobi, Dar es Salaam, not remote outposts. Some of the fastest growing cities on Earth, and the ground beneath them is in the early phase of what will eventually become an ocean. Engineers designing infrastructure in the region now account for rift movement in their load calculations. Roads, bridges, water systems. The geological instability is no longer background fact. It's a design constraint. The Kenya collapse didn't just swallow a road. It changed the building codes for an entire continent. The canyon that opened that morning is still growing, every year, by the width of your thumb. But here's what the GPS data cannot explain. One cluster of sensors near Lake Natron in Tanzania is showing eastward movement at twice the predicted rate. No volcanic activity accounts for it. No known fault explains it. The mantle models don't fit. Something under that specific stretch of crust is pulling harder than anything else in the rift. Scientists have been studying it for 3 years. They still don't know what it is.